like to throw it next to Ajay Bagga. And before I go to Ajay Bagga, let me say one thing. I had the opportunity to interact with Manmohan Singh very often as a reporter, as a news editor, later as an editor of a channel. I must not say that most of these interactions were not agreeable, but I must say they were not unpleasant either. In fact, I remember after the press conference where I asked him that question, Ajay, we were sitting around, the Prime Minister came across to me, and he said, looking at someone else, he said, I don't know why he, referring to me, does not say a kind word about our government. And I remember saying that, sir, that when you give me an opportunity to, I certainly will. He had a sense of humor. He was a sensitive person. And I think that is why he resigned or offered to resign when Congress members tried to stall the Indo-US nuclear deal. One of the things I've never understood is why a person so sensitive, who offered to resign on the Indo-US nuclear deal, never offered to resign after the series of scams that hit his government. Because somewhere he took ownership of this. Maybe it was his loyalty to the Congress party. Ajay Bagga, I'd like to draw you in next on the mixed legacy, if I may say so, of Dr. Manmohan Singh.
Yeah, Arnab, I would like to tell you in two sentences, 3 stories, because I have lived through the financial landscape. 1991, I was working for a foreign bank. All the foreign banks had withdrawn all country lines from India. What does that mean? India had very little money left to be able to pay for its imports, all the foreign banks. And it was Narasimha Rao giving the political cover which allowed the technocrat of Dr. Manmohan Singh to unleash those reforms. We came back with lines. 1994, he opened the markets to foreign investors first time. And we used to tell investors, we had to show them on the map, this is India. Only the public sector companies would be big enough for them to look at. We would bring that. And by 2012-14, the point had become investors would come in, I want to put in 250 million, 500 million. Don't show me small companies in India. That was the transformation also that happened. 2008, I and my wife were lying in the chambers for 12 hours as the terrorists were gunning for us in the Taj. That day, I decided that this individual, Dr. Manmohan Singh, is a great savant. He is a great person, but this government has totally let me down, along with 200 other CEOs who were caught in the chambers, along with all the masses who were massacred at Victoria Terminus. Third story I'll tell you. 2013, I was sitting in RBI, Dr. H.R. Khan, Deputy Governor. We were in a big crisis again. What P.K. Basu mentioned, we were called one of the 5 fragile economies. We had a current account deficit. Dr. Khan said, how much money can you get in? On what terms? And we said, sir, you tell us, 2 billion, 5 billion, 10 billion. I have so much demand for Indian paper, you just unleash us. And we could get that money. But what happened? You put a Raghuram Rajan as the RBI governor. When the money was being returned, he quietly said, if I go, this money will not get returned. We returned the money 5 years later. So this is the mixed legacy of Manmohan Singh. The president, Abdul Kalam, had the guts to do what he did. He didn't get a second tenure. He was willing to walk off. Dr. Manmohan Singh was not willing to walk off. He had power thrust on him, but he had no authority. Arnab, you have done endless shows on the NAC, the social activists who were running the country, who have done so much damage. Even now we can't touch land reform. When you leave it to the free market, see what Gujarat government has done on land reforms. You leave it to the governments like Maharashtra and Gujarat, you don't see anything. You leave it to South India, you don't see any farmers from South India going. But we could not get through farm reforms, we couldn't get land reforms. That's the mixed legacy.